Hello everyone. Today I'm just chilling and like drawing stuff uh, and watching YouTube video. I'm just going to be live for like 20 minutes or so, or 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm supposed to go live and do like a David Finch study, but I'm just feeling extremely lazy today, so just gonna vibe. I started this sketch earlier, few minutes ago, and I'm going to just see like how far I can take it. Wait, there's a Stanley documentary. Wait, let's check that out. Stanley documentary. How to draw comics the Marvel way. Oh, there it is. Let's see it. Actually, is my namesake. Oh, I didn't know that. I was hearing the name John. Sometimes you forget your name is actually John. Hello, Kaji. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. How's your day been going? Mine has been all right, just all right. Uh, Supposed to do something. I wanted to do like a video, but I just got tired. To be honest, I haven't done like much productive today. So I just saw this image and I was watching. I was actually watching a live, someone else's live, and they're talking about football. And for whatever reason, I just felt like drawing a character or like character that I'm working on in the background. Usually you have ideas at the back of your head, and yeah, I just thought I'll just get myself a little bit more familiar with the character. Anyways, how are you doing? What's up with you? Like, how's your day going? You couldn't find my Patreon or you subscribe page for fans and support. Oh, like the Patreon is not active. What? Like that's not possible. I mean it's not possible, but like I think it's actually well. Let me set it up. Let me check. Just give me a moment. Let me check something. I have to. I have to check it out and fix it later. Ah, God, man. The problem is that like the my country, Nigeria, for instance, like it's quite difficult to set up some platforms, like Patreon, for instance, and most platforms are quite difficult to get on. Like when I wanted to get like a tutorial for animating in Blender in Colosso, it was quite difficult because like I don't know for whatever reason my country wasn't listed as part of the countries. But anyways, I have created a page and it's public, but I don't know because the link I always put the link in the description and it usually goes to well, I don't think it's in the description in this one though. I don't think it's in the link in this description. Wait, there are games to stream on YouTube. What are these? Oh, interesting. Anyways, I have created a page and I published it, but I don't know. I'll have to recheck it to see if there's a problem because I actually did publish it and set it up. Maybe it's because I haven't posted any much content there. Maybe that might be the reason. So I'll try and post a video there or like a tutorial, something like that. I definitely will, Kaji. I definitely will. I don't know why it's not working. Because I checked it a couple of times, like when I was setting it up. I checked the link a couple of times. Maybe I'll just send it to a bunch of my friends to see if they could check it out and like send screenshots to me to see how it looks.
When you're below the sea projection, when your eye level is nowhere near Spidey's heel as in this panel, we're inclined to refer to it as a bird's eye view. A drawing in which the details are obscured by solid light or any other single color color is called a silhouette. And now that we agree on the tools and the language, let's get on to the heavy stuff. Let's start drawing. The most important thing is making your drawing look three-dimensional, making it look soft. In other words, like it's occupying space. We work on form using these three simple basic shapes: the cube, sphere, and cylinder. And when you move along, you'll see that every drawing is based on one or more of these three shapes. It would say a simple hand cut, without which there can hardly be any comic books, TV action shows, or movies. And if you ever want to draw a Western strip, you better take particular note of the fact that the barrel is really a cylinder. The bullet chamber is a cylinder encased in a cube, and the butt itself is based upon the basic shape of the cube. Obviously, the details of the shapes are modified to suit the artist's design and the drawer's practice. But the thing to remember is the actual sphere, cube, cylinder construction beneath the drawing. In fact, every object can be broken down into one or more of these three shapes. Take the automobile. Notice how there's a large cube representing the shape of the body, with a smaller cube denoting the window and roof area. An airplane is equally easy. For me, anyway, I don't have to draw it. The purpose of this is to train you to think through the objects you see. See them as made up of any combination of our three basic shapes: the sphere, the cube, and the cylinder. A very important concept. Just about as important as drawing marble, of course. Well, now we come to what I'm sure you've been breathlessly waiting. How everything we learn relates to the human figure. Notice that in this drawing we use cubes for the rib cage and the head bevel, while cylinders form the basic construction of the arms and legs. Even the little band around his thigh follows the form of the cylinder. A few more lines and you've got it. Daredevil, one of Marvel's most popular superheroes. Here are some more sphere cylinder cube examples. And notice how those shaded drawings look solid. Now, even spheres, cubes, and cylinders can use some embellishment. This is small shading. Gives an object a sense of solidity, proper shading, reinforces the feeling of dimension. We can pause here, and you can practice what you've learned so far. Or, potential producer of it as regard picture panels, you can grab your ruler, your T-square, and your triangle, because our next topic is in other words, making things appear in place, in the foreground, background, and in between. It's not an easy subject. You've got to master it in order to achieve a contest. We'll make it as simple and clear as possible. Before we can even begin to understand perspective, we must first learn the basic concept of a horizon. Simply put, the horizon line represents the viewer's eye level. That's the spot in the picture where your own eye would be if you were there observing the scene. Now, this cube provides a simple effect. Notice that the two side lines on top seem to define together, the way train tracks appear to come together as they receive 1 meter distance. Okay, then, let's continue drawing those two lines until they meet. The point at which they meet is the natural horizon. That's our own eye line. And since the lines converge at only one single point, it's called, naturally enough, one-point perspective. That seems pretty simple. Even I understand it. Now let's watch John turn the cube like this. If we follow the new converging lines to their ultimate meeting place, we get a two-point perspective, with a horizon line slightly above the city. This is what our two-point perspective view would look like, with a horizon line exactly at eye level. And here's how it appears with the horizon line below the cube. Of course, you'll seldom use one simple cube for perspective. So let's see how these principles apply to the kind of scenes you might be drawing. In this drawing, despite the size of the scene and the number of the buildings, you can see how everything converges toward one point. Therefore, it's a one-point perspective. You can probably guess what we're about to say. The perspective lines are converging to two different points, but along the same horizon. Thus, a two-point perspective. Well, it had to happen. An example of three-point perspective. The point at which the converging lines come together and finally meet is called the vanishing point. But here comes the tricky part. Look way up above the building. There's a vanishing point too, but it's merely an arbitrary point. Here's an example of a three-point perspective with a third vanishing point well below the horizon line. Three-point perspective drawings are really very common, so practice them until they look right to you. And remember, even when the third vanishing point is at an arbitrary spot, all of the perspective lines which do not fall on the horizon line must fall at the same arbitrary point, or else the perspective will be all wrong. For example, let's say you want to close your side door. Sounds simple, huh? But what about the furniture? It's got to look natural, like it belongs, not like it's just floating. That's what perspective is all about. Notice that the vanishing points are at eye level. In order to have correct perspective, no matter where the viewer's eye level may be, everything falls into place. You might want to put the tape on pause and see if you can copy this next example. Notice the way the chair is angled differently than the other pieces of furniture in the room. If
Question: is my dexterity supposed to be good? Uh I think it's all about technique. Like even getting good dexterity, it's all about technique. Um, the thing about like drawing in general is that most people just limit their drawing to their wrist. As wonderful as drawing with just your wrist is, you actually need to involve your elbow a lot of the time. Like I have my hands placed on my table, but a lot of the times, especially like if I need to draw like a huge curve, I do try to move my entire elbow like this. So I don't just do like this all the time. There are times when I could get away with it, but usually more often than not, I use my elbow as much as possible. Your dexterity will get good with practice. A lot of things will improve with practice. Like I said, it's all about numbers. Like if there is somebody that is at your level, and two of you were to start from level zero, you have to ask yourself, um, is if that person were to do 100, like let's say you guys have a sketchbook and he were to cover like 100 sketches every single day, and let's say you're covering like 10 or 20 pages every day, you will definitely improve across 1 month, but your level of improvement in comparison to the guy doing 100 pages is going to be very minuscule in comparison. So it's just like I said, I always say this, and it's because it's true. It's all about volume. It's all about volume. It's all about volume, and you know you have to be patient with yourself. Um, you have to be patient with yourself. That's just it. Nothing is supposed to be good like when you start. Like you are meant to be horrible. If everybody could just get good like immediately when they start, what would be the point of learning? What would be the point of, there wouldn't be anything such as mastery in general. So you have to expect to be terrible at something. Like of recent, I just started Yeah, I think we've been talking for over like 2 months or so minimum, and you started or 3 months. Well, I said 3 months. Yeah, 3 months probably. And so you probably you just started this year. So yeah, you have a long way to go. You have a long way to go. Especially since you've not like studied a lot in your life, like consciously or intentionally practiced a lot. So yeah, of course, you'll be terrible. Like even when I started digital art, I was working traditionally a lot. I remember when like I was doing a lot of my drawings with a ballpoint pen, and because I couldn't afford art materials, like only a pen is what I could afford. But eventually, when I started doing digital art, for like the first 2 or 3 days to a week, I was not very good at it. Like the works I did, especially like with the tablet, I was not very good. It was not. It wasn't a nice thing to behold. But eventually, my it kind of adapted. Like I kind of adapted to the drawing tablets, and well, more advanced drawing tablets. It makes it closer to it feel like you're drawing traditionally. So there's just a learning curve to everything. I'm sure you know this. You don't need me to tell you. There's just a learning curve to everything. You just have to keep sucking. That's just the thing. That's it's what I've learned. It's the same like process I'm going through in terms of like this social media thing and being online. Yeah, I'm terrible at it. Probably maybe my tone of voice, the way I talk. I'm not good at communication. Maybe I lack enthusiasm when I speak, or I don't have the right method to retain attention. Like whenever someone tunes in to like a video that I'm doing. Plus, I don't have like the skill that I have is not something like exceptional. Um, that will just like keep people's attention. So I have to learn that. I have to build that skill. And me doing these lives every day is part of like I would say the technique. There are people that do 3 lives every day. There are people that have been doing lives for over 20 years. Not I say 20 years, over 10 years, over 5 years. I'm not automatically going to be as good as those people. I'm not automatically going to be, at their level. So I just have to go through my process of sucking and, most likely learning the hard way. And yeah, eventually things will get better, or they probably won't. Yeah. I might find myself stuck at this level for the rest of my life. But the thing about it is that if you keep doing something, you're either going to learn one way or the other. Uh, that's just what growth is about. You are definitely good at something in your life. You just kind of have to reflect at, that thing that you are good at, or and just imagine if someone were to ask you, how did you get good at it? It could be something as simple as riding a bicycle, could be something as simple as driving a car, with something as simple as I don't know if the person is like an electrician or like a composer, a music composer, whatever level you are at. If you are like at a competent enough level, you see that you definitely know that it took time. And even though you're at the level of what do they call that? Jesus, what's the name of that thing? It's a psychological term. I think there are levels to it. The it's called pyramid of competence. Pyramid of competence. All right, let me show it to you. So, what do they call it? So we have unconscious incompetence. That's the first level. Conscious incompetence. Yeah. So this where I think you are currently at conscious incompetence, the level where you sort of know the things that you don't know, and you know that you're not like at the level that will get you what you want in terms of skill. There are so many there are so many things that you don't know, and you have a knowledge of the things that you don't know, um, give or take. And then conscious competence. This is the next level you are going to reach if you keep going at it. Uh, and then there's a level you reach known as unconscious competence. And whether you know it or not, everybody has attained this level in life. It could be something as basic as walking. Like the level of unconscious competence you have in terms of walking is outstanding. Like just the mere act of taking one step and taking another step because your muscle remembers. So automatically, a lot of the times you're not conscious of it. You don't have to think about how many steps you have to take in a day. An example of this is if you're someone that goes to the gym and you try like lifting heavy weights, you see that you count them, and a lot of the times you remember the reps. And it's difficult because your muscles are not used to that level of pain. But throughout your life, your leg muscles have been used to, and they understand, they are aware of your body weight, and so they've been carrying it all their life. So it's nothing difficult for them. But you go to the gym enough, you definitely see that you become like it. Some reps or some exercises will become easy. So that's unconscious competence. So like a bodybuilder, for instance, if you were to tell him to do like well, I don't know what to call it now. Let's say 10 push-ups. That's going to be very easy for him. Uh, or if you were to tell somebody that like it's not fit at all to do like 10 or 20 push-ups, it might be very difficult. So all this rigmarole I'm doing, all this come on man, zoom out. It's just all about the fact that it's not easy. Like if a baby were to start walking, in comparison to someone that is 10 years old, the that 10 years old child has more unconscious competence, I mean, in comparison to what that baby has, which is unconscious incompetence. The baby doesn't know what it doesn't know. Yeah. So that's just the truth about it. I think there's a psychological stuff. Anyways, I'm just using that analogy to sort of explain the the current phase that you're in. Um, and it's just a phase, and you're currently at stage 2. And the thing about it is that a lot of artists are at different levels, based on like what they are studying. So for instance, now someone like me, in terms of something like perspective, for instance, which is something I talk about every single day that I've not like properly studied, I'm at the level of conscious, would I say conscious competence? Conscious incompetence, moving to conscious competence. So I know what I don't know. So, but I know what to do to get to the next level and get better. So hopefully, eventually, I'll get to unconscious competence. But in terms of things like figure drawing and stuff, I'm at the level I would say at as unconscious competence or conscious competence. So that's just the entire gist of it. So it's just all about doing it daily. The separation between a baby that cannot walk and a 10-year-old that knows how to walk is the amount of reps that 10-year-old has taken. That 10-year-old wakes up and walks every single day. And so it's a lot easier for that 10-year-old to, take steps in comparison to a toddler or like a baby that was born um, 3 months ago. So, yeah, that's just it. So just be patient with yourself, my
So
brother.
third, fourth gratitude point, save what I now try not to get impatient. I know it seems cool,
Oh, he just said it. Yeah, try not to get impatient.
but it'll all make sense as we go on. So learning perspective also means knowing how to tilt or turn objects without making them look distorted. And here's how it's done. We all know that a perfect circle will fit perfectly within a perfect square. But if we change the position of the square, the circle must also change. It becomes an oval. However, because it's in perspective, it still looks a cube, which is nothing more than two squares with perspective, side by side. Then draw two ovals within the squares, connecting them. We end up with the wheel drawn in perfect perspective.
We thought you'd enjoy these particular shots because they show in typical Marvel scenes how we put the figures themselves into proper perspective. Now, notice where the eye is in each panel, as well as the location of the various vanishing points. Now, there might be something more important than figure drawing in comic book artwork, but we sure don't know what it is. You can't have superhero comic books without superheroes, and you can't have superheroes unless you draw their figures. But there's more to it than just drawing figures. You've got to be able to draw them the Marvel way, and that means as dramatic and as heroic as possible. So here's where it all starts to pay off. The average guy is about 6.5 feet tall. But look at this sketch of Reed Richards.
Notice that he's 8 3/4 heads tall. This extra height is one of the secrets that gives Marvel superheroes the proportions which the world has come to expect. His shoulders are good wide, hips are real narrow. And as you'll see in a moment, Al is much more angular than female. Another thing to remember, the elbows fall just below the waist. This is true of men and women.
And speaking of women, where would Reed Richards be without his stunning suit?
Notice that she too is 8 3/4 heads tall. That's much wider in relation to her shoulders than they would be on a male. Obviously, we do not emphasize the muscles on a woman.
Now, discover the difference between a normally proportioned male and a heroically proportioned Marvel superhero. Note that the superhero is larger, with broader shoulders, more muscular arms and legs, a heavier chest, and even a more imposing stance. There's nothing weak-looking about the fellow standing next to Captain America, but the superhero simply has to look more impressive, more dramatic than the average guy.
One point to remember is to always slightly exaggerate heroic traits. Ignore or leave out any negative and dramatic qualities.
Would you believe that virtually the same rules apply to the villains as to the heroes? Take a close look at these next two drawings of the dramatically demoniacal Dr. Doom. The illustration on top is rather ordinary. It lacks those special qualities which distinguish a Marvel. However, the second illustration is drawn in the dynamic Marvel style. Let's see what the differences are. Basically, there's nothing wrong with the top figure, but you can see how the one below is more exaggerated. Duck's arms and legs are heavy and more imposing. His feet are planted further apart, giving more majesty to his stance. His tunic is flaring, denoting action even though he's standing still. His chest is larger, and his hands are bigger and more powerful. The differences are subtle, but this is the way Marvel does. Train your eye to catch these elusive but essential variations. Still, there are exceptions to every rule. I'm sure you recognize the lovable thing. But did you know he's only 6 heads high? Here's the king, barely 5 heads high. You see, the trick is to make him look smart without making him look like a panty waist. Incidentally, the smaller the head in proportion to the body, the heavier and more bulky the body will seem. And now that we've studied the figure, here's what you've all been waiting for. Most anyone can draw a stick figure. They're simple, they're fun, but most importantly, they're the easiest way for you to get the action and the position you want for your character. Now, go ahead and practice. I'll wait. Seriously, put the tape on course and practice all you need to until you can create virtually any pose that you can think of.
And once you've mastered the stick figure, add ovals for the hips and rib cage. The arms and legs are done by adding cylinders, and continue refining the drawing.
Remember to always draw through the figure. By that I mean, even if some portion of the body will be hit by an arm or a leg, draw it anyway. Like Iron Man here, about to spring at some malicious mystery. You can eliminate what you've drawn later when you add the limb which will conceal it. But you'll be certain that every part of the anatomy is in just the right position.
When you're finished with filling in the details, you erase the construction lines which have been drawn through, and the result should look something like this final figure, whole shell.
Yeah, it should, if you're John yourself. But don't worry, you'll get it with enough practice. Remember, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Now, here's another. This time, we started with a stick figure in a typical Spider-Man pose. Notice the way his left knee is bending towards you. That's called foreshortening, and it's done a lot in comic book artwork, although we'll get to more about that later. As you can see, it's done mostly with basic cylinder shapes and those loose little lines until the figure starts to take shape. Then, as you continue, you will emphasize the important ones and you eventually lose the others. As John says, it's like being a sculptor and you're building this figure with clay.
This drawing process is the more you practice, the easier it will become. Train your eye until the line almost begins to form in your imagination before you put them on paper. Always build your drawing starting with a loose sketch.
It's the best way. It's the professional way. It's the marble way. Action. It's a marble specialty. A marble trademark. Now sharpen your pencil filter because here's where we separate men from women. Here's a series of several different stages of the action. I want you to notice how the first drawing and the last seem to have the most impact. These are the shots of marble artists use.
Try drawing a series of stick figures performing some action, like running, throwing a ball. You pick as many different stages of that action as possible. Familiarize yourself with the moving body. Use as many lines as you need. Don't try to do a finished drawing. Just loosen up. Try to feel the action.
Well, don't just sit there, true believers. Go ahead, we'll wait for you. Hey, I didn't say we'd wait all day. All right. Compare your practice figures with these. Now, note how the action has been taught in a few simple words. That's what you want to learn to do. Exactly. The center line drawn through the figure from top to bottom is always drawn first. It gives you the curve or the swing that you want your figure to have.
Always remember, every tone has a certain rhythm to it. One simple center line, you can determine that rhythm, and then start building your entire figure around it. Now let's study some figures in motion and see which ones we like and which we don't. And why?
Both of these figures are rough sketches of someone running. But notice how much more dramatically this figure is moving. Why? Because its center line has more swing, impelling him forward with force and urgency. Now the same is true here. Both figures depict a reaction with which of the joy. This figure is perfectly clear, but it simply isn't done in the marble style. It lacks the movement and the sharply curved center line of the other. Notice how this figure is loose. The legs are bent and thrusting backwards as the arms step forward. Notice how the head follows the center line, completing a graceful, fluid curve. Now that's the marble. And the same rules apply to figures which are just standing. In these examples, the smaller figures are okay, but just okay. They're not particularly dramatic. They're not overly heroic. And most importantly, they're not very interesting. But the larger figures, showing the same poses, are much more dramatic and heroic. consequently, and more interesting. Here are some more. The variations may not seem to be major yet. As simple a device as thrusting the head farther forward or spreading the legs farther apart can make all the difference. They're simple, loose, free and easy, and although each was done with just a few sketchy lines, they're all Marvel style drawings. Well, I know you're anxious to start drawing a complete figure now, so let's get to it. John has reduced the process to 5 steps. He's begun step one with a basic center line to determine the pose and the action. Moving quickly to step two, he's constructed the sketch using the spheres, cubes, and cylinders we studied earlier. This is basic, but it's very essential. It's how the martial artists do it. Step three is to draw through the figure, doodling and adding the basic details you need. Keep your pencil strokes loose, light, and graceful. If a line isn't right, don't worry. Just go over it lightly until it begins to assume the proper form. And don't be afraid to have more lines than you want in the finished product. Remember, we're still building. Okay, once you've got the doodling lines in, all the basic details, study all the little sketch lines, and now select the ones that you like the most. Go over those lines again, very down harder on the pencil. Take your eraser and clean up the unwanted lines. At this point, your drawing should be beginning to take shape. Remember how we added black tones, shading, cubes, spheres, and cylinders earlier on? Notice how John gives the figure form and substance by the use of that same shading technique. And don't worry if your first figure doesn't come out looking one of this much. If you're not satisfied, go back and start over. Be patient. Why, it might take as long as 2 or 3 days before you're as good as good John. You rarely see a marble figure that doesn't have some portion of its body foreshortened.
There's usually some part of the body that's tilted toward you, bent back away from you, or angled in some other manner. As this picture illustrates, when shapes are tilted away, they seem to become short.
Here's a little demonstration. You can try it for yourself. I'd like you to take a drinking glass and hold it in front of your eyes. Then tilt the glass away from you, just so. I want you to notice the body of the glass seems to shorten as you tilt it. Now that's foreshortening.
Notice these cubes and cylinders only shorten as they go away from you. Think of each figure as a bunch of connected building blocks. The artist's job is to arrange them in proper position, making sure they are correctly foreshortened as they tilt away from the viewer's eye. In these examples, the line drawings reveal the building blocks of each panel. Pay attention to the perspective lines, which illustrate precisely how problems of foreshortening are solved.
I'd like you to look at the thighs of a black armed bear. Now, obviously, in real life, they'd be the same size. But here, his right thigh seems to have become considerably shorter than his left. This is because it's tilted at such a severe angle and pointed almost directly at us, as revealed clearly in the block building sketch. Now, the same goes for this shot of the thing. Because they're drawn at extreme angles, see how much shorter his left leg and his right arm seem to be. It's this skillful use of foreshortening that'll make your figure really come to life. And now it's time to draw the human head, or even the inhuman head. Most everyone.
in the middle a little Italy. Almost done with the sketch. Mm, said sketch, inking. Light is hitting the stuff so the surface would be lighter. Hmm. I have a lot of sketching to do. Just a little bit of highlights here and there. I actually forgot myself. I think I'm going to stop this here and I'll continue the illustration later. I don't know. Christ. Hmm. Hmm. Eesh. Hmm. Hmm. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Not bad. Hmm. Okay, this black fit. I really like it. Let's let's add some color to it though. Cool to okay. Where's the light coming from again? He has shadows hitting his side like this. So there's light over here. There'll be light over here. There'll be light shining over here like this. There'll be light shining over here like this. And over here as well. Some little bounces here and there. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay, I think that's it. I need this. Okay. Do I put the cape? Hmm. Yeah, I think that's it. Kinda. Is that it? Yeah, that might be it. Let me make the hair a bit shiny. Where's the light coming from? Oh yeah, it has highlights like this. Forgot the ears. Okay. Let me put some hatching lines. I feel like putting hatching lines. Actually, now that I think about it, it's supposed to be shadow here, like this. Hmm, okay. I'm seeing lights moving in this direction, so the light will sort of be moving in this direction in terms of this stuff that I have here. That's going to be the shadow. There's going to be a shadow over here like this. Probably just put this guy over here like this. Okay, not bad. It's all right. I think actually there should be one like this. No, a little bit lower. Okay, that's all right. All right, let's make the rest of it fun. Kind of like the background. Uh, John. Ah, I know my problem. What the hell, man? Stop lying. Let's put on some good contrast. Let me add a bit of. Okay, I think that's good enough. Is there anything else to add? Maybe I could add some of these textures in the background. This white stuff. This nice white stuff over here like this. Nice one over here. Just do one over here. Some faint one over here. Then I could just blend it a bit. Mm, the hell did I do like that? Okay. I think that's it. I think that's the. I think that should be it. Yeah, I'm done with drawing for today. Well, for now, it's a new day actually over here. But so far, this is what we have. It's what we've drawn. Yeah, yeah, it's not bad. Not bad for a quick fun exercise. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate every single like. Thank you.